At 1:19 a.m., a calm voice spoke into the darkness. Good night, Malaysian 370. It was the final transmission from Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. There were 239 people that board on Boeing 777. Families, children, crew members who had made this journey countless times before. Nothing in that final message sounded unusual. Nothing sounded wrong. And then, within minutes, the aircraft vanished from civilian radar. No distress call, no explosion, no warning. At first, air traffic controllers assumed a technical glitch. Aircraft sometimes slip briefly off screens. They reappear. MH370 did not. Hours later, military radar data revealed something deeply unsettling. The aircraft had turned around. It crossed back over Malaysia, flew across the peninsula, and headed toward the Andaman Sea. It wasn't falling, it wasn't breaking apart, it was flying. Then it disappeared again, this time into a stretch of sky and ocean so vast it felt almost unreal. Satellite handshakes later confirmed that the aircraft continued communicating automatically with satellites for nearly 7 hours after radar contact was lost. 7 hours. Imagine that. A plane flying through the night, unseen, unheard, carrying 239 souls into darkness. As the days passed in early March, the world's attention shifted from confusion to dread. Newsrooms abandoned other headlines. Families gathered in hotel ballrooms in Beijing and Kuala Lumpur, staring at screens, waiting for updates that never came. Search teams from multiple nations scanned the South China Sea first. Nothing. Then the search moved westward, into the southern Indian Ocean, one of the most remote, violent, and unforgiving regions on Earth. The operation became the largest aviation search in history. Still, the ocean gave nothing back. Speculation grew louder. Mechanical failure, hijacking, sudden decompression, or something far more deliberate from inside the cockpit. Investigators examined Captain Zahari Ahmed Shah's simulator data. They reconstructed possible flight paths using satellite pings from Inmarsat. Each arc drawn on a map ended in the same lonely conclusion, somewhere in the southern Indian Ocean. In July 2015, more than a year later, a fragment of wing, a Flaperon, washed ashore on Reunion Island. It belonged to MH370. Other debris followed along African coastlines, proof the plane had met the sea. But the main wreckage, the flight recorders, the final moments, still missing. More than a decade later, the disappearance of MH370 remains one of aviation's greatest mysteries. No confirmed cause, no final answers, no closure. Just a voice in the night. Good night, Malaysian 370. Sometimes tragedy is loud, and sometimes it is silent. Follow for more stories where history ends, but questions don't. On this day.